And we are back. We're back early. I said I wasn't gonna be here for 2 weeks, but I'm here. Brian, we cannot hear you. Your mic's having problems today.
All right, we're back. Thanks to the great snowstorm of 2026, we are snowed in.
Yeah, pretty much. We got a foot of snow over like the last 8 hours, at least where I'm at.
Yep. And the roads are pretty icy and bad, so.
So we thought, why not just get on YouTube and talk to all the beautiful people online that just love to hear from all of our doom and gloom all the time. Nothing.
It's always bad, isn't it?
It's always puppies and rainbows here.
Today we're going to talk about cars and houses and loans in particular, and it's not good, so hey.
So I was having a conversation with somebody on Friday, and this is a guy that we had just recently helped get out of debt, and he was talking about like cars with me, and we started looking online for.
Now let me add before you get into your story. If you want to hear that story, we do have that in a video like months and months ago.
We need to redo that.
So yeah, we need an update to his story because all that debt that he had is now debt free. So
Completely
it does work,
debt-free.
folks. Okay, continue. Sorry.
So I was talking to this guy, and we're looking at prices of cars because when you get to a certain point, it's kind of like, okay, well, my car's got too much mileage on it, or it's not worth it, or should I really put this much money into fixing it? And what are new cars? What is the price of them? Before we get into that, up on the screen we have our portfolio, passive income. That's all I'm going to show you today because we haven't bought a stock yet for this month, and we talked about all this stuff on Friday. So don't need to rehash that, but you can see that this is the amount of income we are getting, whether or not we're snowed in or not. So today we're snowed in.
Yep. Go watch Friday's stream if you want to know what we talked about.
Oh, yeah. Just check that out. So we were talking about these cars, and I was explaining to this guy that, look, cars are not an investment. Some homes are not investments. When you buy it, even if it's used, the chances of you making money on it are almost zero.
Unless it's
you're
a specialty car, if it's something that was limited edition that they only made 500 of in the world, or if it's a special Corvette or whatever that you could just store and it'll go up in value. But beside that, like your average Civic is going to go down in price the moment you walk it off the side, off the lot,
And that, I think there's a plateau. I've always looked at cars as a depreciating asset, something that you have to spend money on, even if you don't necessarily like the costs of things, like repairs. The sweet spot cutoff is typically about 4 years. So if you're looking at like buying a used car, and you're looking at the price of the car today, if it's brand new, typically they'll drop between 30 and 40% within the first 4 years. So if I'm ever shopping for a car, that's kind of where I sit. But there's something happening today in the automotive market that I think people should pay attention to, because this thing happened back in 2007, just before 2008 crashed. Like 2006, 2007, you started seeing this stuff. It's not just happening with cars, though. This is happening in the housing market. This is happening with like recreational vehicles. You're seeing it in the RV market. My wife and I went to the RV show this last week. And, there's this lady that does videos on YouTube. I'm going to sidetrack for just a second. And she talks about like build quality and quality issues with RVs. And I don't know if I noticed it more this time just because of that, but I'm walking through the show looking at these RVs, like these are built like garbage and they're not built very well. So I was not impressed. I wanted to be impressed. I came in there with big expectations and hoping for really good things, and nope, not impressed. In fact, the one that I was looking for wasn't even there. I wanted the Rockwood Roo 233S. That's because I got 3 kids. We're trying to find something that's not insanely difficult to pull, and something that you could sleep enough people in comfortably. Well, granted, it's a hybrid. It's not a hard shell across the board, so That comes with some things, but they've got this. There's a bunch of companies out there. One of them's called Pop-Up Gizmos that like covers the tent and actually makes it better sound insulated than a hard shell trailer. So, I like I said though, that wasn't even there. So not that impressed. The build quality was just not that great. And this kind of segues into what we want to talk about today. We walked past the spot where you're supposed to buy these RVs, and there was a bunch of like my wife even said, "Hey, look, the operators are standing by." There was nobody buying an RV. There was nothing. Nothing was happening there. They're all just standing around. There's one guy looking on his phone. There's another guy just kind of talking to somebody else, and they're like, "Hey, you want to go get a drink?" So they went and grabbed some beer. It was like that was not the case if you had gone to the RV show 6, 7 years ago. Not the case at all. There was people lining up, and even back then, I could not understand why people were, because this is before the pandemic. I couldn't understand why people were spending so much money on something that just did not get them any return at all. So on Friday, we're talking about this stuff, and because as you know, my cars are older. I was looking at maybe I should replace the Porsche, maybe not. And we started shopping for cars because the guy I was talking to, we got him out of debt, has some cars that are paid off now. And we're looking at, well, maybe we get an electric car, maybe we do something that's cheap, that's affordable because he drives a lot. And we started shopping around and we saw a very odd thing. So what I've got here is outside of the investment income, we'll talk about this more on Friday, but I've got three different types of cars pulled up. And what I want to show people, and Brian, I haven't shown you any of this yet, so maybe you can kind of surmise what we're talking about, but I want people to see the problem. Because, like I said, this happened back in 2006, 2007. You saw a bunch of like cars going on sale, and nobody was buying anything. And that's the same thing that happened in the RV show this last week. So what I've got pulled up right now is just a 2020 or newer. Basically, it's a Toyota Corolla under 50,000 miles. I'm just looking for a Toyota. So if I wanted to buy a Toyota, and I went to Carvana.com. Now, there's a problem that Carvana has that we'll probably talk about in a minute. But you're looking at 2023 Toyota Corolla hatchback right here on their site, $22,000. Here's a 2025 LE, like a regular one, 2150. And these are all used, so these are not brand new cars. You've got another one here, a hybrid, 28,000 miles, 23 grand. The thing I wanted to show to this guy was that if you go to Toyota's website, look at what they start at. Brand new. They're cheaper, brand new, than if you go to like Auto Trade or anywhere else, even Carvana here, then you can get them used. Why would anybody buy a used car when you can get a brand new one cheaper? So, and we kept looking through the list. There's a few other cars I wanted to pull up and see what it was. And this to me highlighted some of the same issue is that right now, we had a big problem during the pandemic where there weren't cars being made, so the used car prices just went way up. Same thing with inflation rates. We had, or inflation, interest rates. We had interest rates super cheap, and we had people working remotely, so all the towns and homes that were being sold in areas that didn't normally have like real estate booms, all of a sudden had these real estate booms, and we had super low interest rates, so their prices went way up. And now none of that's happening anymore. Like people are expected to go back to work, not remotely. They're supposed to go on site and work. And now you've got basically an affordability issue. Interest rates went up. Nobody wants to lower their price, so now nobody can afford the house. Nobody's buying houses. So
Right.
there's a problem that's starting right now that we saw probably a few years ago that, hey, this is going to happen. It's actually happening. And you can see this just right here. I mean, just looking at these car prices, again, who would buy a used car with tens of thousands of miles on it, or even this one here, like this 25 standard edition Toyota Corolla, $24,000, 14,000 miles on it, brand new on the website, $23,000. It's like more expensive to buy the used car than the brand new one. Why would you buy the used one? This is also happening in the housing market. Now, it's going to take a little bit longer to find it in the housing market, but what you're seeing, if you go and you look around, I've got Tampa pulled up here. If you look in our area, it's pretty easy to see it, and I might zoom back to that in a minute. But what you're seeing here is that used houses, old houses, not brand new ones, are going for, in our area, about $750,000 ish. They're not selling, they're just sitting there. Whereas you've got the builders now who are, in our area, it's like Sable Homes, Eastbrook Homes, Bauma Builders, there's a whole, like Tibby Homes, there's a bunch of them. They are trying to stay in business, so they're lowering the prices on the new builds, and the new builds are coming in around $500,000 to 550. So again, why would you buy now maybe the location's better, maybe the lot's better, but that's typically not the case in our area. It's not a huge town that we're in. So why would you buy a house that's got a whole bunch of problems in it that may not pass inspection today when you can get a brand new house for $250,000 cheaper than that? And I was talking to this guy about this Friday. His name is Rob. And he was like, "Man, you gotta tell people about this." Well, I wasn't thinking about it when we were talking about stuff on Friday. So I've got the Toyota Corolla here pulled up. We can see it with that. We started looking at for some of the other ones, and it's the same case, but it's not across the board the same, depending upon like if you're buying a luxury car or like a truck. So I've got the trucks pulled up, like a Ford F-150 for brand new. I want to see kind of if there's the same problem with those. But you're seeing the same problem with Honda Civics, like Toyota Corollas, Hondas, the entry level, maybe the lease cars, the very common cars that you'd find on the road today. Even the Subarus are like this. So here's a Honda Civic. I just did a basic search on Carvana, and there's a problem with Carvana that this creates, and we'll talk about that in a second. So 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid, $30,000. Okay, 17,000 miles on it. You go to Honda.com and you look at their brand new prices. You've got brand new Honda Civics, again, cheaper.
30,000 miles. Or $30,000, yeah.
They're cheaper than the ones that are selling on Carvana. Again, why would you buy a used car that's got mileage?
Now, I will caveat that, right? Because we're not going into all the options that the used car has versus the new car, starting at $29,395. But maybe, just maybe, playing devil's advocate, the Carvana car has more upgrades to it. The better sound system and all that stuff, which raises the new car price. But other than that, I mean, you still can get the same car for the same price. It's just crazy. New.
I'm going to humor that. Let's see. Is there a...
Do the top right one. Just that first one.
This one right here?
The left side. Left. I'm sorry. I didn't mean right. Yeah.
This
the
one
hybrid.
right here?
Yeah, click on that one.
The Sport Touring.
So that's the Sport Touring.
0 to 60 sometimes. Features.
You don't buy this
I'm going to look
speed,
at the vehicle details and see what it's got. That's really good miles per gallon. My car gets
50,
like
47, yeah.
12.
And that's if you don't punch it.
It's if I don't hit the gas.
Yep.
So this is it's a standard car. It's like, it's got the sunroof.
It's the Touring, so it has some standard upgrades.
Okay, so if I go to Honda.com then, and then we look at the same car.
So there's that middle sedan. That's not the Touring, though. So at the very top, it had the sedan hybrid.
This one here?
Yeah.
We'd have to build it out. But even then, I mean, if you add the options, there's no way that's going to be that much more or even...
With the middle one, because it was the hybrid, right?
Yeah, the Sport Touring Hybrid.
Oh, there you go.
$32,000. So
32.
That one, that's still...
So it's $2,000 more to buy it new. I would buy it new. I would spend the $2,000 to buy the new one versus the one that's been used.
So now we've got two examples. We've got the Toyotas and now we got Honda. So I figured I'd pull up a third one just to see if is this really happening on like because it doesn't happen with
Across
the
the board.
BMWs, the Porsches, or like the high end vehicles.
Mercedes,
Yep.
Lexus.
It's not happening as much with those because the brand new. I was looking at a replacement for my car. They want $250,000 for it. I was like, I ain't spending that. That's
I was looking
crazy.
at the Cadillac Escalades, which you could buy 5 years old Cadillac Escalade for 20 grand. $185,000 for an Escalade. Like, oh my God. Like, in 5 years, what technology and what improvements did they make to that car to
Nothing.
make it be that much higher?
You've got a new monitor, a new dash cluster, and maybe
Yeah,
some AI.
that was crazy. It's like it's an SUV, people.
And that's the thing I was looking at because I got a Cayenne GTS and I was looking at the new ones and it says, okay, did the frame change that much with the latest iteration? And honestly, it did not. They made some minor changes. So basically, if I refresh the suspension on mine or something, it's going to handle better than one that I would buy. Because I'm not spending 250,000 on a car. That's
Well, you could
stupid.
probably spend what, 50,000 to upgrade yours to be pretty close to the same.
Yeah, I don't want to spend that much either. It's just a car, especially the way people
Right.
drive. People are crazy on the roads.
At the end of the day, you're right. It's just a car.
It's just a car. That's it.
Like, you don't live in this thing. If you're living in it, okay, you got something different there. But
Man,
it
you
just
living in a
takes you
Porsche?
from one point to another.
All right, so that's Toyota. That's Honda. Let's look at
Good old
Fords.
American Ford.
Maybe a Ford F-150 will have.
But trucks keep their value too. They always have.
That's why I'm checking them out because maybe, just maybe, not really. It's the same story. Look at this. The Ford Super Crew cab,
30,000.
30,000. It's got 64,000 miles. Jeez, they drove a
Yeah,
lot.
they do.
That's a lot of miles. Here's a
75,000.
2022 for $29,000. Okay, so if I go to Ford's West, this is a little better. It's not like Honda and Toyota, but it's a little better, but still.
So we're looking roughly 30,000.
Yeah, 38,000 here for the.
And it starts at, yeah.
Who
So the
buys a truck with
XLT,
a.
the XLT starts at 45,000.
Would you buy a truck with a 2.7 liter EcoBoost? I would not. If I'm gonna buy a truck, I need like a real engine.
If I'm hauling stuff, no.
This would be all right.
Yeah,
I'd
the
probably
V8.
prefer diesel, but so trucks. It's not the same story with trucks, but if you go back and you look at what we just showed with the Hondas and the Toyotas, it's the entry level cars. And back in 2006 and seven, I remember seeing this. RVs were doing the same thing. They had. I remember my buddy was trying to buy a snowmobile and he bought one really high, and then he was lamenting that 2 months later they were going at like 50% off, 50% off. They kept getting lower and lower and lower, and it's kind of happening that way again. You have all the entry level lease cars, the fleet vehicles that are going super expensive relative to brand new because since the pandemic, there was a supply chain issue. We talked about that in a few videos. That's been fixed. Manufacturers are now making vehicles again. The tariffs weren't going to be what they aren't what people thought they were going to be with the automotive industry. So now you've got all these used cars that are way, 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 way expensive, and the new ones are like cheaper. And I
That
don't know.
kills me though. The $33,000, $600 a month estimated payment.
I think Dave Ramsey did a video on that, and he was saying like if you have to have a car payment, you're doing it wrong. And there was a lot of
Yep.
people that got mad at him about that. I said, well, I've never had a car payment, so I don't know why people are getting mad at him for that. And
Well,
somebody
because
told me,
most people, if you buy a car, you buy it with a car payment because you don't have $36,000 just lying around to pay cash for that thing.
buy a cheaper car then.
There you
You
go.
know? And
Buy
Tom-
one you could afford, you can pay cash for.
like, oh, Tom, you drive a Porsche, you drive an M3, you wouldn't. I was like, yeah, I drove a Geo Metro for 12
Right.
years. So don't tell me that you can't do this.
Well, I think the point is if you could make that payment, the $600 a month payment, take that and put it into an investment vehicle every month, $600 until that gets to $36,000 and then pay cash. You got to get beyond the I want it now attitude
Oh, good luck with
and
that. We're in the United
yeah.
States.
And then you could sell your car, your existing car, get the cash out of that, put it on the new car, and that lowers the payment. So you just, instead of 36, maybe you're financing 15,000. So I don't know. It seems simple, but it's hard to do in practice because you really want to spend that money.
So this is the other side of this argument that I want people to see. I'm going to check new construction. We're in the West Michigan area. And let's see, are these all new homes? There we go. So you got a buildable plan here, $613,000. And that's
Jesus, 1,850 square feet. It's probably not including basement, but oh man.
right. And this is what I'm
That's pretty
saying
cool.
is that builders are now building homes cheaper than you can get like
See, that's
the existing
better.
inventory.
Byron Center, 600,000. At least it's 2,900 square feet.
They count the garage now. Your
Do
house
they in
is
the
the size of the
square
pantry.
footage?
No, I'm kidding. They don't. They don't.
Yeah,
But
I
it
don't
sure
think
seems
they
like
do.
they do sometimes. But look at that, 459. So let's take off the new construction now. And let's just do, yeah, I don't know, 4 bedrooms. Let's try to mirror what the builders are doing. A lot of the old homes don't have the same areas. I'm going to try to look in the same area. So here you go. You got a old farmhouse, 464. Why would you buy that? Because the new one is 500. There's no reason to buy. Oh, well, Tom, it might be on more land. It's not on more land. This has got the same exact like lot size almost. This one's got 2 acres, but much smaller house, and it's the same price.
That's crazy.
Isn't that like, here's another one. Oh, that's a new one. It's brand new. That's a custom home though. I told it not to do new homes.
I mean, I can't complain because my house is like that too. I mean, it skyrocketed. Did buy it in not the pandemic, but the housing crisis in 2010. So it was just starting to recover when I bought that, and it was $130,000 less than what the people who are selling it paid for it. So, but still, it's just crazy how much. It's almost $1 million for that house.
And the average salary, so people who aren't from this area, if they they don't know, it's about 74,000. So
Now, you are getting to a part of where we live to where it might be more land. So I want to see how many acres there
that's
is, because that'll
1.5.
increase the price of the house quite a bit too.
But that's still the same price as somebody who's building a brand new house. Typically, when you look at a new
Right.
home, it's you would expect the new home to be more, but they're not. They're either the same
3,400
price
square
or
feet.
less.
That's like 200 square feet more than my house.
Look at this! Look at this photoshopped beauty. You've got
It is.
the
Look at that
sunset, which
sunset.
is like neon.
They put some contrast to that thing.
You've got the lights that are
Saturation.
all 100%. Like every window has a light on the window.
Yeah, they turned all the lights on. That's a nice house, but is it $600,000 nice? I don't know.
I'm seeing auctions come up now too more frequently. I didn't see those before. But
And you're by the
there's-
airport, so you got to hear airplanes coming in and going all the time.
It's a very
1.3 million.
like I said, this happened before.
Mm-hmm.
This has happened before. It's happening again. That's one that's I'm starting to finally see it where they're lowering these used home prices to be at least close to or similar to the price of the builds. Like sometimes they're a little bit cheaper than the new builds, but here's one that's slightly cheaper than a new build. But look, that's only a quarter of an acre. And I'm sure they're including the basement square footage. That does not look like a big house. So
You want to see my old house?
sure.
Tell you, what, go to Jenison. We want
Zoom.
Pebblefield Drive. So go up 40th Street.
40th, sure. 40. Where's
Yeah.
40th? 40th. There you go. 40th Street. Okay.
All right. So we
That's
want Port Sheldon. Yep. So 40th and Port Sheldon.
right here.
Yep. And go down to Brookfield Drive there, down to at the bottom. See Brookfield at the very bottom.
Yep. I gotta change the filter here because
Yep. There's Pebblefield.
okay.
So we were the. So if you're going from the Plainfield Drive, we were the third house, I think, on the other side.
right here.
So scroll down a little bit. 3878 right there. So it's 363,000.
Say
Up
what?
one next to it.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you believe that price?
So that's the old house. So when I married Kathy, this was the first house we bought
High roller, man. You're like Bill Gates.
in 2003. How much do you think we paid for that?
I bet you this was 150, maybe.
Close. So it was 165, I think.
Yeah.
So 165,000 in 2003. In 2010, we sold it to buy the house that we're in now. How much do you think we sold it for?
When did you sell it? 2010?
2010.
Probably 185, maybe 200.
135.
100. Oh, you took a loss.
We took a loss. So we sold it for 135, and now it's 363,000. That's $163,000 more than what we paid for this house, which is like double the size of that thing.
That's why we're streaming today.
Right.
Like that's what's going on.
It's like, what the heck?
So we talked about the average income. So if Trulia thinks your old house is worth $363,000, a household should generally earn between $115,000 annually, and that's the 28% rule. That makes sense. But let's look at. I'm going to dive deeper into AI mode. Thank you, Google. Let's take a look at this average household income, West Michigan. I should be around 74,000, something like that. But if you got the median household income, okay, so the Kent County, that's in Kent County, so it went up a little bit, 80,680. So the median household income, so the person in the middle, you got 50% below, 50% above, or 49 each way, however you want to do it. They can't afford this house, and if you include all the rich people, so the top 10% and above, you're still not able to pay for this house. You can't do
it.
it.
That's an 1,800 square foot starter. That's including the finished basement. It was a nice house. I mean, don't get me wrong. I liked it, but it didn't have enough space for a family of four.
This is the problem that we are seeing. So when you're looking at cars, the trucks were sort of an example that
kind of breaks the mold.
Breaks the mold maybe, but not much. And by the way, if you got a $600, $700 a month car payment, you're doing it wrong. That is not how you make money. That is how you blow your money.
Yeah.
So you
didn't put enough down on that car to to bring that payment down.
Hey, just looking at this, why would anybody go to Carvana and buy a used car when the brand new ones are the same price or like cheaper in some cases? The Toyotas are cheaper. The Civics are about the same price. Some of them are cheaper, but here you go. 2025, 3,000 miles, standard edition, $25,000. Here's the 2023, $25,000. That's an XSE, XSE, I can't say that right. But this one here is it's the same price. So you've got 21,000 miles of wear and tear on this vehicle, whereas the new one has zero and it's got all these warranties and stuff on it.
Right.
Now let's talk about economics for a minute, just because I think we need to. When you buy a car, everybody knows if you buy a new car and it goes right off the lot, how much value do you expect it is? You're losing like thousands of dollars the moment you pull it off the lot. Even the first couple of years, you're losing another 10, 20, 30% of value right away. So the fact that these new cars, so if you know that's happening to a new car, you buy a new car, you pull it off the lot, you lost 10, 20% in the first couple of years, 30%, 40%, all the way up to 4 years. And all of a sudden, you've got these used cars selling at the same price. Everybody says, "Well, Tom, that's just an example of the car holding its value." Like, no, that's an example of the market that's about to crash. That's not an example of the cars holding their value, because what's happening right now with Carvana is these auction lots are not moving cars. Go to any dealer right now and ask them if they're able to move a lot of inventory. They will say no. So we have a problem, and I don't know if people realize that this is a problem yet. And I like Carvana. I think their business model is great. I shop on there all the time. I don't buy anything yet. I'm a Windows shopper. Sorry, Carvana. But I think this is going to hurt them in a big way. They've made some pretty good earnings the last few quarters, it looks like, and I'm just waiting for people to realize maybe they won't. Maybe their marketing campaign is just so amazing that nobody actually goes and it's like, maybe they just assume, oh, that's a new car, I can't afford it, it's going to lose its value, so I'm going to buy this used one that's actually more expensive than the new one. Maybe they will. I mean, good marketing does amazing things.
Right. And ignorance is bliss as well. I mean, how many people actually go to the trouble to research all the cars and prices that is out there before you actually buy it?
One of my
Like,
family members does not. He will just say, "Oh, I need a new Ford," because all they do is they buy Ford. So goes to the dealer and say, "Hey, give me a new Ford." He's gone
yep.
through like four different Fords in the past 4 years. I've gone through zero cars. He's like, "Well, my car's more reliable." It's just like, why do you keep replacing it? Well, because that one had these problems and this one had this problem. And I was like, well, wait, fix the problem and it'll probably be better because you don't have to pay for a new car again and again and
See,
again.
come on. My Ford Mustang I bought in 2019 is still going strong. It hasn't cost me a whole lot of money, so some things Ford can make right.
I think
I'm not a Ford fanboy by any means, but I do like the Mustangs.
their Mach-E should have been a car. It should not have been an hybrid. That was a mistake.
It should have been a Mustang. I mean, they're using the Mustang moniker to get people to buy their electric car. It's like I tell my kids, it's not a Mustang. It's a car.
What they should have done is they should have gone with like what Elon Musk does with Tesla, and they should have said, "Well, we're going to call this the Model F, F for Ford," and they can have an Ultra edition, so it could just be like the FU edition, and then like they could advertise right after Tesla. It'd be perfect. It'd be amazing.
Well, that's
But
why Tesla
nobody.
couldn't have the Model E, because they wanted the Model S, Model E, Model X, Model Y to spell sexy.
Yeah, they wouldn't let them.
Because Ford has a Model E. Like back in the Model T, all those days, there's a Model E that they patented, so they couldn't use that.
They should have done it. It would have been good marketing.
Yeah.
I see. I would be great at Ford marketing. Probably nobody would buy the cars, but it would be funny. People would love it. They would just love it. It's not this stuff. See, here's the thing: is it's just like 2006-07. They're doing a good job of hiding this from their balance sheets. Now, Carvana stock has done quite well in the past year, but how long is that going to continue? Or, I mean, so if you were to flip a coin or if you were to make a bet, how much do you want to bet that people will eventually figure this out? Or will they at all? Will this just continue to be like, oh, well, I'll go to Carvana because it's cheaper and I won't lose as much value as a new car because
No, I
everybody
think what will
knows.
happen more than likely is the used car prices are getting to the point where it's as much as a new car, and people go and they can't afford the new car. That's why they buy used, but the used car prices are advantageous.
I like that
So they're
word.
just not going to buy anything. They're going to keep their old car.
And
And
that's what's
then,
happening.
yeah.
And we don't see that here yet. And what I'm wondering is, if I was a betting man, I'm not sure I would want to be buying Carvana stock right now or anything in the AI bubble space either. Yeah, look at their operating expenses here.
They ballooned.
Their operating income has gone up too. So Carvana's, it's not showing up yet. But I just wonder how long it's going to take people to notice this. And same thing with the housing market. Like, how long is it going to take for somebody who realizes that, look, these builders are offering so many incentives right now that I can't, I can't buy this used home or old home. Maybe it's got that's actually a pretty nice price for 10 acres. But I can't get this old home cheaper than I can get a new home. So why would you buy the old home? You buy the new house. Oh, well, Tom, the new homes are built like garbage. Well, it's been like that for the past 30 years. Like, people have been
Yeah.
cutting corners for 30 years. So if you think your old home's going to be that much better, no, when they say that, they're talking about homes that were built in like 1910. They don't build
Or
them like
at
they
least the
used to.
70s. Like,
Yeah, like anything after 1960, it kind of went downhill.
yeah.
Starting in the 70s, like you said, it's so once again, when we talked about like we're seeing signs of recession in the economy, this is what we were talking about. We were expecting to see this stuff, and now it's physically here. What I'm curious to know is, what is the federal government going to do to alleviate that? Like, Trump is talking like tariff dividends. He's trying to get the Fed to lower rates to re-stimulate that. And honestly, I think that's just kicking the can down the road. I don't think that's a solution. I think that's hey, look at what I just did in the short term. And then a couple of years after that, it's just going to be major problems. Like, we need to fix our debt problems now, not 5 years from now. So I'm a little bit worried about that, but I'm not in politics, so I can't necessarily just say that, oh yeah, I can fix this.
Maybe you should run.
I don't know if I want that. I could fart the wrong way and people would, oh, he
Talk-
farted and killed a child in New Mexico.
You think you had stress and a headache now.
Yeah. No, no, thank you.
It'd be easier just to be an activist.
I don't know. You activate the wrong way, you're going to get shot. That's not a good thing. Yeah, I don't see this can't continue this way. This economic like bubble has to pop. Or people are just going to get run straight into the ground like they did in 2008, and you're going to see all these foreclosures and auctions. And I did see that even when we were looking just a minute ago, I saw a couple of auctions that if you were looking in the housing market 3 years ago, you would never see a market listed house that was an auction ever get to Trilly or Zillow. Like, it would like barely leave probate.
Right.
It'd be on the auction for 5 minutes and be gone. Now you're actually seeing them where they just sit there forever and ever and ever, and nobody's buying this stuff. So I guess as far as the stocks go, and as far as like what you would do personally, don't buy a used car on Carvana if the new cars are like the same price. That doesn't
You
make
do your
sense.
research is what we always talk about, right? Always do your research. It takes time and it's trouble and it's pain and stuff, but you're going to be able to save money by just taking the extra hour to look at cars all over to find out who has the best prices, and is it better to go new or used at this point? Because sometimes it's better to go used, right? I would say over 20 years, it was always better to buy used because you could get a used car for 25,000 that was $50,000 new, right?
It
And it was
used to
only 2
be.
years old. Huh?
Yeah, it used to be.
Used to be. But now that doesn't hold water anymore. So that's why you always got to do your research to find out what the best deal is.
I mean, look at this one.
Unless you're
Look at
sitting
that.
on a pile of cash, then okay.
I don't know anybody who isn't already rich that's. I mean, unless you're rich, I don't know anybody who's sitting on a pile of cash.
Like super rich, because I know rich people, multimillionaires that go through the process of finding out what car they want and how to get the best price for it, right? That's why they're rich.
I'm one who likes to auction everything. Everything. I'm going to only pay top dollar at the bottom price. But look at the 2021 here. Standard edition, 42,000 miles, $19,600. Okay. 22,900, 2026. 5 years newer, $2,000 more. Well, 3,000, but why? Why? I mean, Carvana, that's a problem. If you're Carvana and you're trying to like get rid of your inventory and you find out that your prices are more expensive than the new ones.
Okay, now here's my also interjection. If you can't afford that extra $3,000 to buy the new one, you're paying too much for your car.
Says Brian, it sounds like you're in a tunnel. I don't hear that. Do you hear that? All right, we're going to check you out, Razor Core. We're going to see if that's true. We'll see if that's the thing. Is this the thing? Why? Why would you? Why? I mean, Carvana. That's a problem. If you're Carvana and you're trying to like, I sound like a nerd. And you find out that your prices are more expensive than the new ones.
Okay, now here's my also interjection.
Ooh, you do sound like you're in a tunnel. You got like this big echo chamber thing going on.
I don't know what to say.
I wonder if it wasn't like that on Friday. I wonder how do we fix this? Try to mute your mic and unmute again. Razor, we'll keep going, and if Brian still sounds like he's in a tunnel, we'll have him change his lights to be like psychedelic, and we'll do some kind of like Monty Python skit.
How do you know that's just not how I sound in real life? Like I'm in a tunnel. That's just my natural voice, man.
Your network is broken. Honey, I'm going to pick up milk.
Here, I'll do a quick look on the router, see if my son's downloading a bunch of crap or using a bunch of bandwidth. I don't know.
You're going to like lock him out and you hear his dad.
Dad.
Well, that's too bad. That was on a roll. Oh well. That's
You got sidetracked.
I did. I got sidetracked. I was talking about like the apocalypse of cars, and yeah. Well, Razor Core, it's okay. I'm glad you told us. That is pretty much what I wanted to. That's pretty much what I wanted to talk about, though. I think that like as far as they're going to have a big problem if they can't get rid of their inventory or if people don't buy it. Even if they do, a car payment on a $30,000-$40,000 car is too much for most people, especially when you looked at the U.S. Census numbers. They can't afford that. So I would not be buying Carvana stock right now. I would be very skeptical. Is Auto Trader, I don't think they're public, are they? Oh, they are. They're public. Okay, I'm going to go look at Auto Trader too, because if this is happening with Carvana, I wonder if it's happening with other. Oh, they're an OTC stock. That's a tiny one. All right. Let's see if Auto Trader's got the same problem here. I want to buy a Toyota. I'm going to replace my Porsche with a Toyota because that's smart.
Yeah.
Whoa, first one. Look at that.
24.5.
It's the LE. They have the same problem. So it's not just Carvana. So this is really more like a 2008 issue. That's not good for these companies, though, either. 2022 Toyota Corolla LE, 24,500. Okay, so 20. Can I pick up the model? Can I change the model type? No? Build? Okay, fine. We're going to build a Toyota Corolla today. Yeah, hybrid LE,
Nice.
24,775.
That's the hybrid. That other one wasn't a hybrid, was it?
No, it
Wasn't
was.
it just
It was
the
an
LE?
older car, so I didn't think they would. Just an LE.
Yeah, so that was the one to the left of the hybrid. And build your price.
Was it? Oh, it is. Oh, it's even
Yeah.
cheaper.
So it's 22.9 instead of 24.7. 23,000 is as shown. So that's $1,000 more. Even if it has like $1,000 or $5,000 worth of upgrades, it's still not worth not buying the new one.
Look at that. A used 2026.
27.
27. Wait a minute.
Oh, that's the hybrid. But you could buy a new hybrid for 24.
What is
the
going
heck?
on? What?
That's cray-cray. I mean, this is kind of like when we had the chip shortage, right?
Yeah.
And all those new cars were sitting on the lots, and then the used cars were just getting obliterated, and the prices skyrocketed.
That's I'm turning off one of my mics just in case that the problem might be me. I don't think it is, but just in case. I think yeah, no, I'm just in awe of this because it's not just Carvana. It's all over the place. So if you wanted a clear sign that there's economic problems coming to the stock market, this is a pretty good one. Sorry, Shaq. I like Shaq, but you know, here it is again. I don't know. You guys can tell me what you think, but I see problems here. I see a big issue with sanity in pricing, and I think you're going to see this a lot more. I've been shopping for tractors because I'm completely rednecking it with everything, and I've been noticing the same thing too. Like used tractor prices are just ridiculous. And they've been jacking up the prices of new ones on John Deere's side just because that they've been selling them a lot. So you look at the prices of these models that are brand new, 30-40% increase over the past few years because boomers are getting older and they're the ones with the homes. In fact, in our area, the average age of a person who buys a house is over 48. So you're either Gen X or a boomer buying a house in our area. So all the people that are buying these tractors are probably of that same generation, at least in our area, because they can't do a lot of manual labor, and that's like destroying the prices of tractors too. So now I feel like, oh, I got to wait for that now too, because I can't buy the reasonably priced item anymore. Everything is just conflated, just way out of whack. And according to AI, because everybody knows AI is 100% accurate and always right, never gets anything wrong, just like me. According to AI, this isn't going to like start tapering off until 2030. And it used a very morbid thing. This is when they start dying off. I'm like, okay, cool. That's I guess that's realistic, but
True, you know,
yeah, you could have put that a little bit more kindly.
use in a metaphorical standpoint.
So when you're looking at stocks and you're looking at investments and you're looking at making major purchases, do your research because this only took us like 20 minutes to find. And this is a smaller snippet of a much bigger problem that's happening economically. And I don't think this means that there's going to be a sharp correction tomorrow. I think what this means, if I was to pull out my crystal ball and say Tom knows what he's doing with stocks, I would say this is more of the deflating whoopee cushion sound out of the economy as we transfer from one generation to the next. I think this is going to take some time to unfold, and it's not going to unfold the way people would expect. A lot of times that the people who do actually have money when a stock crashes, you'll see it drop a little bit because of the actual reason. Maybe they lost a contract, maybe they had some financial problems, and then they rebound a little bit the next day because everything's, oh, I'm buying the dip. Well, that wasn't the dip. That was like the start of the correction. And then it just keeps going. So I think you're going to see a lot of that. People are saying, well, it could be a V-shaped recovery, and that's true until it's not. Sometimes the market drops and it stays down for 4 or 5 years. And if it doesn't drop, what you often see is what they call stagflation, where it just kind of does nothing for years. And in that scenario, this is where the Fed printing the money, inflation, and interest rates will eat away at your investment money, even if the dollar amount doesn't change. If you go to the gas station, and yes, I know gas prices are down, but if you go to the gas station one day and you're paying $1 for a gallon, as an example, you go there next year and it's $2 for a gallon. Well, even if you had $100, it's worth less now. That's what I mean. So you're seeing this with used car markets. Now, if people haven't caught on to this yet and you're looking at selling a car, now would be a good time to offload it because you can get a new one at a pretty good price relative to the used ones. I would like to see what Carvana, Auto Trader, Hertz, and all these places that deal in this space, what their answer is for this. I want to know what they're planning on doing to get around it because eventually people are going to figure out, or Toyota's going to do an amazing incentive and they're going to start advertising too. And if you're like at Carvana, what do you do to that? What if Toyota says, hey, we'll give you 10% off for one of our cars because nobody's buying cars? Well, now you've got the LE edition for $20,000 instead of 27 that you find it here on the Auto Trader. So what are you going to do then?
You got to
That's what
lower
I
your
want to know.
prices if you're Carvana.
But
You
then,
can't have a used car cost the same or more than a new car. It just doesn't happen that way.
housing market seems to be working there, but there's the only thing with housing market is you've got location, location,
Right.
location, location.
You
That
got
makes sense.
land and yeah.
Cars, you don't have that. So it's what I would expect to see with these guys is when we looked at their finances for Carvana and Auto Trader, unless they dilute their shares like crazy, which is what Anali Capital's doing, I would expect that as far as like the stock goes, there's a storm coming, and I'm not sure they're going to weather it too good. They're getting capital now. Don't waste it. If you're at Carvana, don't burn money right now. Get rid of your inventory that's sitting there as an unrealized loss, because it's coming. That loss is coming, and that's kind of what I've got. I mean, that's what I wanted to talk about today. I think hopefully the audio comes through okay. If it doesn't, maybe I'll have to do some of your editing, foo, Brian. But
Yeah.
that's it. I mean, tell me what you guys think. If you think that, if you think we're wrong, you think this is, you should be buying on Carvana, paying more for used than new, tell us why.
Or if you think this is a simple supply and demand issue where there's not enough used cars or too many used cars, to keep the price pressure down.
I don't know, man. But that's what I got today. So we're going to do another stream. I don't know if it'll be this Friday, probably next Friday. We'll make our monthly stock purchase. We'll try to get our income up. If you want to see what that is, you got our summary here. Up to 115,000, same as it was Friday because the market's closed today, Martin Luther King Day. We got investments.
And yet the day change is down 1,300,
Oh,
even
yeah,
though it's closed.
that's from Friday.
Yeah.
So if you look at the performance, the cumulative, I think it's still somewhere around 20% per year. Oh,
30.
30% now. That's
Why
because
not?
of Intel, but
Yeah.
yeah. Not terrible, not too bad. If you ever read any of the big investment books, they say expect 6%, so we're doubling that. I think that's pretty good. But we'll make a stock purchase probably 2 weeks from now, and then Brian's got a stream he'll hopefully be doing on Friday. And stay tuned for that. And again, happy investing.